You're listening to the More Than a Worship Leader podcast. Here's your host, Gary Durbin.
Hey, welcome to the More Than a Worship Leader podcast. My name is Gary, and we talk about worship ministry and the local church. And I want to do a year-end review of 2025. 2025 is over. This is nuts. This is wild. But here we are, end of the year. So I thought it'd be cool to do an end of the year review, talk about my world, give you a little glimpse into my world and what's been going on this last year. Maybe talk a little bit about next year. The first phrase that came to my mind is like when I think about my life, like the good, the bad, the ugly. And I thought, man, I don't think that's a good way to say it. I really don't. So here's my new phrase. We're going to talk about the good, the difficult, and the beautiful. So here is the good. So when I think about 2025 and I think about the good, I think about our house. I know that's kind of materialistic, but I do believe God has led us to the home that we purchased. We've just experienced our second Christmas here. And it's been awesome. It's a good thing in our life. It has allowed us to establish as a family. It's also allowed us to have my parents move here. That it's got an in-law suite, so they invested in the home with us. That's all, man, just really good stuff there. Between two of us, Jenny and I, my wife and I, we have 4 kids. And Jenny has 2 sons, Trey and Tate, and I have Josh and Jade. And Trey and Tate, they actually live in Alabama. So Trey, a good thing that's going on with Trey's life is that he is now the youth director at his church. So that's been a really cool change in his life. When I think about Josh, he had a big year of moving out. We'll talk about that in a second. He moved out and him and Ella got married in July. So I've gained a daughter-in-law, which is fantastic. When I think about Tate, Jenny's youngest son, he just got engaged. So that's a big deal. And wedding's coming in April of 2026. Awesome. Good. And then my daughter Jade, she's a senior. She's going to be 18 in January. Whoa. So good. But crazy. And so senior year, she's finishing very well. Her high school years as a cheerleader. She has a boyfriend named Hayden who we love. So really good stuff going on there. Then there's work. There's Jenny's job. She works for Christian Healthcare Ministries and she's doing really, really well there. She's gotten promotion this last year and I'm just really proud of her. I'm proud of her and I'm also happy for her because she's doing really well, but she's also enjoying her job. And that's been awesome. Really good. And then myself, wow. Big year for me. A couple years ago, I went on the journey of ordination and finally finished that in 2025. Just got ordained in September in my new role as worship arts pastor as opposed to director. So some additional responsibilities there. But all in all, really good stuff going on in our world. Jenny and I even have some potential speaking engagements in 2026. So just, yeah, God's doing good stuff. Good stuff in our life. But along with the good, there is difficult. And when I think about difficult and I think about 2025 in my world, the first thing that came to my mind is my son Josh moving out. Now, this is something that we want. This is something we want for him because it's a good thing, but it's also difficult. Wow, man. My son moving out. I remember packing up his room, which is this room right here. It's my little studio now. Packing up his room the night before. Wow. And I remember just having a moment, taking his stuff to the front of the house, getting it ready to load in the cars the next day. And then we move him in the next day and I come back to the empty room. Yeah, that hurt. That was a little difficult. I think the other glaring thing that I think about when I think about difficult this year for my world was drama. My goodness. When I say drama, I mean church drama, which is like, I don't know if there's anything worse than that. Believers in Jesus having drama with one another. Don't think that was what we were called to. But it happens, and I think every church has some sort of drama in their history. And we definitely had a big drama year at our church. We had people leave, and no scandal or anything, just drama. And so the difficulty of that for me personally was I had some really close friends leave the church. I'm still friends with them, but it was just really hard. And one of the things that God taught me and really cemented in me about the local church is how important it is that weekly gathering. I mean, I think we take that for granted, and we take it for granted until, somebody leaves the church and then we don't see them the following week. I hate that, but that's part of it. It happens. And so that was a difficult part of my year. And then the other thing that I thought about that was difficult is just the fact that I'm getting older. So, and Jenny and I joke about this all the time, in our late 40s, we're getting close to 50. There's changes happening for us. It's not as easy for me to work off the pounds anymore. And so I've had to make some changes. Things I'm not eating anymore that I loved, and the things that I'm eating that are new in my diet, which is all good, but still difficult. So those were kind of the highlights of difficulty in my 2025. So with the good, with the difficult, there is the beautiful. And this is the outlook I want to have when I think about my life, when I think about this year. So when I think about the beauty, the beautiful, the beauty, even in the difficult, I think about the idea of getting older. Getting older, there's actually beauty in it. It's difficult, but there is beauty in it. I think I'm a better dad. I think I'm a better husband now. And I think some of that is attributed to age and experience and wisdom. So I'm choosing to see the beauty in getting older. Also, there's beauty in the difficult stuff, like my son moving out, getting married. I mean, him getting married wasn't difficult. Him moving out was difficult. And but I see the beauty in that because we want our kids to be independent. We want them to establish their own lives. So I got to watch that happen this year. So I choose to see the beauty in that. And even in the church drama that I mentioned, I do believe that there's some beauty in that. And I think it's still unfolding. In my life personally, I know that God has grown me and matured me through that. So I have matured and grown as a person, as a believer, as a friend. I've matured as a church leader, and I think I've matured as a worship leader as well. And maybe one day I'll share more about that. And then the idea of growth in myself and maturity is happening immensely in the pastoral role that I'm in now. So there's a lot of beauty in that. I was just telling some people this week the idea of full circle. I started out in smaller churches, been in the big church for the last decade or more. And I feel like there's a full circle thing going on with me where, when I started off in smaller churches, you kind of did everything. And now I'm like back to going and seeing people in the hospital. Now I'm able to do some biblical counseling and going to do my first wedding this next year. I did a funeral recently. And those kind of pastoral things have been really confirming in my life. and it's been a really beautiful thing the last few months. It's just a natural fit. There's a lot of beauty in that for sure. And Jenny and I have found some beauty in marriage, in partnership that is, goes beyond just the regular day-to-day life, but also thinking about the future, thinking about ministry, all those things. So that's been a beautiful thing. One of the phrases that God gave me this year was the idea of now and later. So Jenny and I are both visionaries. We like to look ahead. We like to plan. We like to dream. But I think if we're not careful, we can look at the later and miss the now, because God is doing great things in our midst right now. So now and later is a phrase that we've kept in front of ourselves, and we're finding a lot of beauty in that. So 2025 has been good. It's been good to me. God has been good to me. And I see the good. I definitely remember the difficult, but I see the beauty in all of it. So as we go into the new year, 2026, I expect to keep growing as a husband, as a dad of adults, as a worship leader, an older worship leader who's mentoring and raising up younger leaders. I'm excited about that. And I'm excited to keep growing as a pastor as well. So for you who have tuned into this podcast, first of all, I just want to say thanks. Thanks so much. I really do appreciate it. I hope this podcast has been really helpful for you. I hope it's inspired you and helped you in your growth. So thanks for tuning in to that. Thanks for buying the books as well. I mean, that's the little book that could. Amazing. Just keep selling. More Than a Band. If you haven't heard about that one, I hope you'll check that out. This is good for your teams, and that is selling as well. And then I also want to just promote my wife's book, Rest Rhythms, and this is a great devotional. I highly recommend it, and you can get those all on Amazon. Just a little push there as we go to the end of the year. But thank you for tuning into this little podcast, and I hope that it helps you keep growing and going as a church leader as you strive to be more, not bigger or better, but more of what God has called you to be.
Thanks for listening to this episode. Please add this to your podcast list, review it, and share it with others. And don't forget about Gary's books, More Than a Worship Leader and More Than a Band, available on Amazon today.